So today I have come up with an unique topic that will help you to optimize your test automation and be successful in your endeavors. So before going into the topic, I would like to thank Conf42 for giving me these opportunities to exchange our ideas and for common benefit. Okay, now the topic is about rethinking test automation, a utility-based modern approach to manage complexity. All right. So right now in software engineering and mainly with test automation, since it is not a conventional department or conventional part of software engineering, there is a lot of maturity needs to be achieved, and there is a lot of failure rate in this, especially in this area. So this is where I'm going to focus and walk you through how we can reap maximum benefits. Okay, before getting into the topic, I would like to take you through the evolution of test automation. Early 2000s, we have a simple and brittle tools like with limited maintainability and limited scope. It helps to cover application of 4 to 5 screens, and with it's like a simple. It doesn't have any help any integrations or APIs or any new widgets, right, etc. And mid 2010s, we have come up with the page object model, open source softwares to test the application, which are helping us greater scalability. Even though we are able to progress a lot with the increase of software in our life, day-to-day life, the success rate still stayed at the same level as in the original days. And even the present day, with a lot of technological shifts, advancements, we have advanced systems like self-healing scripts with ML-powered visual recognition and predictive analysis, but still the success rate remains same. Why? Because these are still evolving, and there is lot of scope to evolve in this. So the right approach we take, the right place we invest our money today helps us to reap the maximum benefits of these technological advances we are going to see in coming years. Okay, so what are the current day challenges? So current day challenges is the growing complexity. Now we have seen the software is there in every minute of our lives. Every minute we live, we are depending on some part of the software. So that's how the complexity of it's growing, and it needs to be more integrated and more. There is no chance of failure because it can result in huge loss and huge customer dissatisfaction, right? So that is the significance of software test automation, where it will help us to test all these bits and pieces of softwares and make sure there is no overhead costs. There is the failure of the software is going to create this. To avoid those failure costs, we have to have a thorough testing, and the test automation helps to achieve that. And then the technology shifts. Yes, um, the pace at which the technology is changing is unforeseen. Nobody has imagined this level. And this is just a starting point. We are just still in the first step. And right. So there is a lot more to go through, long way to go in this technology journey. So, given this scenario, what are the common pitfalls? Organizations are attempting to automate more than 60% of test cases with first year experience, 78% failure rate. Teams managing over 1,000 test cases spend around 45 hours weekly on maintenance, while 67% of automation project fails due to improper test case selection. Right? So, what this gives us, this common pitfall, is the coverage or the results of automation is not as expected. Like we are expecting 100%, but we are achieving only 32%, where 78% is the failure. Second thing, we are spending huge amount of time in maintaining the software. And why we fail, because why we fail in achieving the coverage or in achieving the maintenance health of the software we developed. Why? Because we are failing in automation test selection. We are failing in identifying the right automation candidate. So that is where the tech strategy comes in, and we have to spend time on this strategy to achieve the results. Okay, we have seen theoretically, but practically, what is it happening in on ground? Is we expect 100% pass rate, but we are achieving 62% in the first run. And as the age, we have seen the previous slide, right? So we have to keep on investing money on maintenance. If we don't maintain it, this 62% will fall to 26% very soon. And then the test coverage, we expect 80%, we are achieving 54%. There is a huge gap of 26%. And mainly the CI/CD integration, we are still in the native primitive standards. We are still not there where we can see the target of achieving 100% success. And same with the defect detection. Why? Because most of our tests fail due to lack of maintenance. There is still majority of our scripts doesn't get an opportunity to be executed and to identify the defects. So giving this background, what do you see? So we see that, right, there is a huge investment we are putting in, but for less result, less output. So that is what we call it as a white elephant syndrome. So why do we call this? Because it's test automation is a kind of a black hole where it drains all our resources, because we have to invest tons in building the big elephant, and it's not done by building the elephant. I have to feed it every day. So unless there is a proper approach to use a proper environment ecosystem to use this elephant, it is going to eat all my resources. Just imagine you are petting an elephant today. What is the use? No, but you have to spend a lot to maintain it. So similarly, the maintenance challenges, as we discussed, it's a huge maintenance. Like even any company in general, a small software project has to invest in 2.5 full-time engineers. With each engineer about 100K, 125K, we are spending 375K just in maintenance in the resource cost, right? And tools, and then failures, and then technology shifting upgrades, migrations. These are all additional, right? So how does the annual cost looks like the breakup? As I told you, right? The tools and licenses, they cost a huge. Actually, a 5-member team or 10-member team, roughly it would cost about 120K. And as we discussed, the huge maintenance costs. And personal costs, as I told you, 2.5 full-time employees, and direct and opportunity costs. So these are direct and opportunity costs, or the failed initiative costs, directly impacting roughly around 200K for any decent size of a software team with 5 to 10 testers. And while opportunity costs reach to 300K, the cost per test case execution raises from $2 to $3 to $8 to $10 within 2 years. With the raising the resource cost, personal cost, infrastructure, tools, all these costs are going to add up, and it's going to multiply our costs in near future. So I would say this is the high time that we spend time on the proper strategy, and we invest on the tools wisely, so that we can be saved or we can sustain in this global market. Okay, what is my proposed solution? So my proposed solution is a utility based model framework. Here, the core strategy comes into play in identifying the testing candidate. So the testing candidate should be in such a way that it has to help the manual testing speed up their most complex jobs with the simplest script, right? And less maintenance. This is where the strategy comes in. So when you implement this strategy, the manual testing resources, the manual testing personnel could be drastically reduced, as majority of the heavyweight load is taken by these utilities. So why I would say this utility, I can say it as a normal test automation framework or test case flow or something I can say, right? Why I'm calling these as utilities? So these utilities will have everything. Will have unique entry and exit points, unique capabilities. Like for example, I have to test a data set of 1 million records. So manual testing, it will take me 5 days, 6 days with sampling technique, right? But this utility technique we can implement. Forget about the conventional testing approach. So we develop utilities. You take any technology, you bring in a new technology that is completely different way of technology stack. For example, Python, Pandas, PySpark. You validate that data set and give a result in a standard format, right? So these utilities will help us to solve the main pain areas of the software testing or the manual testers. And these utilities will fit into our overall enterprise framework of keyword driven and then our standard logging and logging framework. That way, the output of this utility will become an input for the next utility to carry upon. So that's how we are decoupling these complex pieces, calling them as utilities, building in its own ecosystem, its own technology stack, and then integrating them with our lightweight framework, which includes the enterprise level logging. You got it. So that's how we are going to scope our test automation. We are not going to attack the whole 100% of test cases, testing landscape, and pitfall unable to achieve it. So here we are wise enough to choose what is most required to be automated, where it is going to help us more. For that, we take the help of this universal framework and universal login. So, with this approach, what did we achieve? We achieved 85% of maintainability. It's very easy. We have reduced 85% in maintenance costs. And then, since these are utilities, we focused more on API based testing rather than UI based testing because the major fail or the major failures happen at API or integration level. And then we have implemented separate tools for testing alone. That way, we know the strategy, like where we are going to cover what component. That's how we are able to achieve better reliability. And then better reusability, yes, of course. So if I develop a utility in my team, I can definitely use it anywhere else where it is needed, right? And then faster execution. Since this is not a conventional testing, we are taking every approach to this database, API, or UI layer separately, this integration of UI layer separately, our execution is very faster. And more importantly, it is about the sanity testing. We are able to test the sanity of any application within minutes. Sorry. Okay, so what are the benefits of this utility approach? As I told you, the improved scope management. It's not like I'm planning to cover all the 100% and I'm able to achieve 25%. But here I am descoping the coverage, and then I'm trying to achieve 100% of the redefined coverage, right? So that way I know what I'm doing, what I'm expecting, and how much money to put. I'm not building resources to automate everything 100%. I'm just putting resources to automate my 25% and achieve 100% of it. Right. And then the tool flexibility, yes. And then faster implementation, reduced maintenance, yes. Overall, with the technology shifts, new tools coming in, new technologies coming in, since my standard approach is fixed, my platform is fixed, I just have to migrate from one technology to another technology, but my strategy, my automation resources are going to stay same forever. So as in long run, right? In long run, since the strategy is good, somebody who knows the strategy, it's just a matter of with the latest we have Copilot or ChatGPT. It's very easy to migrate from one to others. And then the implementation strategy, this is like more of generic, establish clear objective to say here, establish a clear strategy on how much to automate, what component to automate. just forget about everything, focus on that component, develop the utility, and then we can integrate with the others. So build organizational support, yeah, do analysis and get the stakeholder buy-in, implement gradually, measure and optimize. So measuring success, yes, key performance indicators. So define your key performance indicators and track your return on investment. So in my projects, wherever I have implemented utilities, so they are like independent utilities, most of the cases where we have achieved return on investment. It's 300% return on investment in first few months. And there are some utilities where we have to fit into the enterprise architecture for the continuity of the flow. So this is like a top down or bottom up approach. The conventional testing where we come with the list of test cases to be automated. While automating it, I develop utilities slowly and then go on, right? But here it is like bottom up approach. First, I know the utilities where I can help to manual testing to ease up their complexities jobs. And later, if time permits or if I need, I can build on test cases by integrating multiple utilities. So that way we know where we are going to, how much we have to invest in, and then the quality first. Yeah. So teams should always monitor the automated execution results, but still we have the standard logging system, and the logging pattern is what integrates from one utility to other utility. It is very easy to track and improve it. Okay. Thank you, friends, for giving me this opportunity. So, hope you would have got some idea on how these unconventional strategies, thinking, implementations will help ease up our life in software testing space and especially in software test automation. So, if you need any help or future guidance or some case studies of my previous works, I'm happy to share. So please do reach out to me. Thank you. Bye.